Our today's honorable and respected guest, Dr. Weiss from Texas, and welcome to our university. And I'm really great to take an interview. So, can you give a brief information about your hometown, about nature, climate there?
Oh, okay. So, yes, I'm from Texas. Thank you for having me, first off. I'm really happy to be here. I've thoroughly enjoyed my first visit to Uzbekistan, and it definitely will not be my last visit to Uzbekistan. So, everyone has been extremely welcoming and friendly, and it's been a very, very wonderful experience, both at the university level and then all the amazing farmers and people that I've met over the past 2 weeks since arriving. So it's been a wonderful experience so far. So thank you for having me also.
You're welcome.
So yeah, to answer your question, I'm from Austin, Texas, in the United States of America. I have studied agriculture my entire life, and I have studied a lot of different disciplines of agriculture. I come from a family where we have agricultural practices. We raise goats. I do crop production, and of course large gardens and horticultural crops as well. And then I'm a professor at Tarleton State University, which is one of the larger, not the largest, but one of the larger agricultural colleges in Texas. And I'm a professor of horticultural science there in Stephenville. And I spent about almost 19 years living in the U.S. Virgin Islands as a tropical agroecologist and horticulture and forage agronomist. So horticulturalist, forage agronomy. And so my background is more systems-based, agricultural systems, because I have backgrounds in animal science, livestock production, crop science, forage agronomy, horticultural science, not just one narrow focus, but a wide range of systems. But my latest focus, I guess, has been more on regenerative agriculture, agroecology, and how it can be applied to horticultural crop production.
Thank you. And about your research in ecosystem, can you talk about it?
Yeah, so when I work with a system, I do a lot of applied research. So in other words, how do we take the knowledge from the basic knowledge from the classroom or the academics or the principles of science or ecology? How can we take those principles and apply them to the agroecosystem? So instead of thinking of agriculture as just production oriented, I like to think of agriculture as of course, its own ecosystem, and that's why we say agroecosystem. And so it's taking a holistic view to where we take into account soil health, insect pests, relationships, animal-plant relationships, microbiology, so soil biology. And I look at ways to promote and enhance natural biological processes, the symbiotic relationships between plants and microbes or beneficial insects to control, particular pest outbreaks. And so I might look at cover cropping or how to grow watermelons in a heavy mulch scenario with cover crops to reduce the use of herbicides because the mulch can be used as a weed suppressor. So with my research, I've done a lot of work with looking at the system of different ecosystem services from different types of applied practices like cover crops, mulch, drip irrigation, that sort of thing.
Great. Also, we heard about your Good Samaritan Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Can you briefly explain it?
Yeah, so the Good Samaritan Foundation is a nonprofit that works in Haiti, and in particular a fairly or very remote area of Haiti in the Caribbean, on an island of Île Vache, which is an island that's part of Haiti, but it sits off the main island of Haiti, so it's a very remote area. They have limited food security because they're an island off of the main Haitian island. Of that area, and so the nonprofit worked to build farms. So we worked with small farmers to support food security for the community. The Good Samaritan Foundation originally, or what their start base was education and health, particularly for children and families and women and their children. And it was soon discovered that if the children and the families don't have adequate nutrition, then their ability to learn, their education suffers greatly. And so the performance in the classroom was greatly was hindered because of malnutrition and not having enough protein. And so it became evident that we needed to build a sustainable farming network within that community, those communities, so that the children and the families would have greater access to food and food security, so that the education would be better received as far as childhood and feminine health.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Also, to conclude our today's interview, today our lecture was about implementing regenerative agriculture.
Mm-hmm.
So could you please share us with how it can help for Uzbek farmers?
Yeah, it's a great question. And the potential of agriculture in Uzbekistan and especially in some of the regions where horticultural crop production has not been the central focus, and also in the transition from historical cotton production lands into more food production lands, especially specialty crops, value-added crops with food and food security implications, fruits and vegetables specifically. The soil and soil quality has been degraded over many generations of land use, and through regenerative agriculture we can correct a lot of those problems. So some of the common theme problems that I saw throughout at least the Bukhara region and Gijdavan, and of course up into Samarkand, was compaction of soils, very low, extremely low soil organic matter, or very low humus levels in the soil, very low microbiological activity or no biological activity in the soil. And so through regenerative ag practices like reducing tillage, adding organic matter back to the soil, utilizing cover crops, leaving crop residues in the soil, having a more robust composting system and recycling nutrients, all these types of practices will help restore soil health that will then support a more productive and richer horticultural industry for those lands, for those agricultural lands.
Thanks a lot for your visit and for this interview. We are really glad to see you here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I look forward to coming back soon.
Thank you.
All right.